she's playing hard to get.
Exactly. I would play hard to get with a murderer.
As soon as he left, I was like, oh, God, I have to do 4 nights alone again. I don't like being alone at night.
I totally agree. Anybody that doesn't feel that way as a woman, I'm like, how do you not? So, yeah, you...
How do you not?
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if you know this about me, but I have a very extensive past watching horror movies. Like, before I had kids, I'd seen them all of them. And I would keep up to date with all the new ones coming out. And so my mind still, like when it's dark, still literally last night, I peed in the middle of the night and had to walk by my dark closet, and I hustle a little bit. My brain literally goes, what's the scariest thing we could think of that could jump out of the closet? What could follow back to her bed? What could be hovering in the corner of the room? Remember how I mentioned the bird that's living in my wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where my mind went.
Oh gosh, I couldn't. Yeah.
Here's what happened. Okay, so this bird is in my wall, and right above where the bird is a window. And the window creates a reflection. And so the bird, for the last several weeks, has been coming home, but then flying up, thinking it sees another bird when it sees its own reflection, and kind of pecking my window. And that's totally normal bluebird behavior. Other birds do that too, because we live in the woods. I actually know a lot about bird behavior as well. Aside from insects. But anyway, so they will do that sometimes. The birds, you will watch them. It's hilarious. It's like ego, right? It's like they're literally having fights with themselves. So they keep flying into the...
You're an asshole.
Like,
no, you're an asshole.
They're like, get out of here. They're like, this is my territory. And they keep flying up and just pecking the glass a little bit over and over and over again. So the bluebird keeps doing this. I just saw him do it this morning. So I looked up, what can I do to help this bluebird? And it said, well, sometimes you can make like a grid pattern on the window. So it just breaks up the reflection so it doesn't bother them anymore. But you need to usually do it on the outside. And I was like, well, this is a 2nd story window, so I'm not going to do that. But I'll try putting some painter's tape in a grid-like pattern on the inside. So one day, a couple weeks ago, I was in there with my daughter, and I started just ripping off pieces of tape and putting it in this checkerboard type messy grid pattern. It didn't really do much.
This is where I would be outside with the ladder, and my husband would be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, I got it. It's for the birds.
And you'd be like, I'm putting a grid pattern
Yeah.
on the window. And he'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. And then he'd grab the ladder, and then he would do it, and he'd be like, you are a pain in my ass. Anyways.
Hilarious. Yeah, so basically I put this grid pattern up. It's real messy and kind of weird. And I've noticed too, sometimes when I go on a walk, I look and I see the painter's tape on the window, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. I wonder if other people see that and are like, what is that? So
Your symbol.
this goes back to like me being alone. So the other night I'm in my bathroom and I'm taking a shower with my son, and it's dark. Do you remember hearing back in the day about those scary gang initiations where someone would have to drive with their lights off, and the first person that flashed them to turn their lights on, they'd have to turn around and go and kill that person? And I don't know if that's actually a thing. It definitely is an urban legend. I don't know if it's true or not, but they would always say, don't flash cars at night. And so then I thought to myself, I do worry sometimes when I'm home alone about being murdered. My husband will be like, why does it bother you so much? You have an alarm system. And I'm like, right, but there's only one door in between me and the world. I said, if someone wanted to get in there and murder me, they could. And why anyone would want to murder me, I don't know. But anyway.
That's the real question, but.
Well, so then, as I'm in the shower with my son, my crazy brain is just like, what if there's a gang member driving around and they're like, look for the signal on the house that you have to
It seems like a gang signal.
And I was like, what if that grid pattern is some kind of marker and it's a signal? And I literally then stand up on the bench in the shower. It's wet. I'm naked. The windows, you can probably see me above there. I'm pulling off the painter's tape at night. I'm like, no, I'm home alone. Don't kill me because of the bird grid. So these are the things that I go through.
That haunt you. Yeah.
I know. Oh,
It makes
God.
sense.
So I was
All
just like,
those
sorry,
horrors.
bird. I can't be murdered at night by this urban legend.
Yeah, I totally get it. One time, my husband was going on a golf trip, and he left late, like after dinner. He left and I locked everything up behind him and then went upstairs, and at like 11 o'clock at night, I'm getting text messages from people being like, your garage doors are open, your garage doors are open. So totally freaked out.
I'm already in the house. It's just like those movies. It's coming from inside the house.
That's exactly what I was like. Okay, they're already in here. It's done. It's done. I definitely went down, closed them, then locked the garage door. But I also was like, yep, they could already be in the house. So I called my husband, and he was like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I closed the garage doors. But I think what ultimately happened was that instead of closing one garage door that he had opened, he instead hit the other garage door button.
Double open.
Right? And so I think that's what happened. So then I'm like...
And he can't trust you.
I know. Exactly. And so now I did make him get an alarm system, because after that I was like, I trust you not at all. I need an alarm system. And so it does make me feel better. But anytime there's a creak or whatever... You're just like,
oh, yeah.
What is that?
Right. Actually, when we moved into this house, I literally paid a woman to come over and sage it to remove any potential evil spirits that lived in here. Because I can't deal with a haunted house. I just can't. I've seen too many movies. That's actually my scariest thing is hauntings. And I've actually never experienced anything like that. I'm too much of a bright light. The ghosts don't come to me. That's what I've decided. But yeah, because even that, like the creaks and stuff, we have these motion lights too around the house, but they're so bright and like prison light and literally light the whole forest. And I was like, this isn't much better. Because then I'm also like, but the wildlife, they're like, what the fuck? Why are these lights on so bright all night?
Exactly. Do we upset the bears or do we get murdered? It's a
my
hard,
God,
the internal conflict.
Oh, do we get murdered by the bears?
Oh,
And I do have the alarm system too, but I just think to myself, I'm like, but if someone really wanted to get to me for some reason, right? Someone really needs to murder me because I had the grid. I
had a client tell me one time that serial killers, like the real ones, because, you know, we try to challenge the thoughts, right? It's like, why would somebody murder us? She was like, the crazy ones, right? The ones that like actually are not lucid. If you leave your front door open, they think that it's a welcoming.
You want them to come in, right?
Right? Oh. So I always lock, so we have like one of those
God.
keypad things and with the deadbolt and then the little thing on the bottom. And I cannot tell you, probably once a week we fight about the fact that I lock somebody out because I close the bottom one like during the day because I'm like, we cannot leave this open. The crazies will know we want them in here. So at least overnight, I'm
they
like,
use it as justification.
Yes. Yeah. So even if the deadbolt is locked, but if they can turn the handle, I feel like they're going to be like, it's a maybe, you know? And I'm like, I don't want to give them any ammunition. I want them to be.
It's a no.
Yeah. I want them to be a firm, it's locked, done, walking away. Let's see what's happening at the next house.
So funny. Oh, that reminds me. Did you ever see the horror movie The Strangers?
I don't think so.
It's got Liv Tyler and someone who
Love
isn't
Liv
that
Tyler.
famous. I think his name is Scott Speedman. But the whole premise is that she and he go to this cabin, and when they start to go to bed, they look outside and there's these three people just standing there with creepy masks staring at the house. And then the whole movie, they just terrorize them before they end up murdering them. And at the very end, she says something like, why are you doing this to us? And they say something like, because you were home. Just something creepy like that. So that's what I just think about. True. It's like, you don't know what some of these whacked out weirdos will think like, oh, the grid. That means come in. You know, just like, who knows? Yeah. Oh, it's a maybe. She's playing a game.
Exactly. I'm like, that's more provocative. Yeah. I'm like, now they think I'm toying with them.
Ooh, she's playing hard to get.
Exactly. I would play hard to get with a murderer. Yeah. Damn it.